Listen. Vanilla is not the way to go. You have to go with chocolate all the time, and you don't go double fudge. You don't go triple fudge, brownie this, brownie that. You go straight down the middle, chocolate. That's
I bought 24 pounds of chocolate brownie protein because he told me to. Bro,
no, I didn't.
That has to be the most disgusting thing on planet Earth, bro.
I didn't tell you. It
tastes like food. It smells like barf.
It's not barf, food. Bro. It's not food. It's protein powder. Listen, I have a box full of protein powder. I should be able to finish it before the expiry date, which is like end of this year. I think October 2021 is what it says. So if you take some, like a tub full, I don't know how many pounds you need, but...
and then throw it in the garbage, right?
Whatever you do with it, I don't care. Okay, I just need it to be finished. I'm gonna be taking it again. I don't like taking it every day because every day it's just too much.
Why?
I don't know. I just don't like it. It's just hard on my body. That's what I feel. It might not actually.
You gotta drink more water, then you have to have more vegetables.
Yeah. So nobody's got time for that. So I do it. I do it every other day, and then I make sure I do it on a workout day. So, and it's 2 scoops, so 60 grams of protein.
The thing is, I work out from Monday to Saturday, and then I have to take it for those days. But,
yeah, so you don't have to do double scoops. I do double scoops just because I can. That's why.
You still carry around like your big jug of water or no?
Yeah. I haven't filled it up today.
Well, then you should be good then. How many liters is that jug? Like 4?
4. Yeah, it's a gallon. So then, it's a gallon. It's 4 liters.
Okay, so then you just take your protein, then you drink all that. Then you're
good. But you go to the bathroom so much. Like you're just constantly getting up and
it doesn't smell good either.
Releasing it. So I have to do it. I have to make sure I'm not too busy with stuff because then it gets annoying because you keep getting distracted. You're like, oh, I gotta go back. I
think one side note thing with our channel, I think it's time we have to give some thank yous to a few of our fans, bro. Every single one of our videos commenting. You know?
Yeah.
I don't remember their names, but
to this part.
You know what's weird though, because when I go on YouTube Studio and then I reply to comments, some people, when they're subscribed and they're a public subscriber, it shows like a badge next to their name, right? So sometimes it doesn't show it, and then I accidentally tell them, hey, if you're new, subscribe to the channel, and they're like, bro, I've been subbed already, right? So it's kind of awkward, but thanks for the same people who keep watching all the videos and commenting. We appreciate it. We're doing good.
So just to segue from that, the video portion of the video, the channel, we're gonna switch it over. I'm trying to get everything done by next week, but
it's cap.
It's no cap. The difficult part is deciding on a camera. So I'm doing some researches on budget DSLR cameras that are good for podcasting, but the problem that we run into is that a lot of these cameras have time limits on the recording, so they'll cap it at 29.59 minutes, right? So 29 minutes 59 seconds. The reason why they do that is because if they do it over 29 minutes, they're categorized as camcorders now. They're not like DSLR cameras, so they'll stop the recording and force you to press record again. I think I read something where they said the workaround for that is that they project the image onto something else. So they have a monitor or connected to the computer, and then they just screen capture what the camera is seeing. So it's not, the camera's not recording, you're recording what the camera is seeing.
Like those PVRs, right?
What's PVR?
Like back in the day, there was one called Dazzle, right?
I don't know. Yeah, sure. It basically to bypass the camera's 29-minute restrictions, they basically just screen record what the camera is seeing to avoid the camera from recording.
So why not record clip for clip then?
Because then you have to every time get up and press it and then resync, press it, resync, press it, resync.
How's that gonna work too with video editing? Why? Who's gonna put it on their computer first, or will it automatically just come to my computer first? With the SD card?
Yeah.
Would you edit it first, or would I just take it?
I don't know. Just take it, right? We can figure that out. Those things are issues that we can think about later on afterwards. the more important is, I think I've got a good layout idea where, the pool table.
Yeah.
What we can do is that at the corner of the pool table, you sit on one side of the corner, I sit on the other side. So there's some distance. Like, imagine it like a triangle, right? So the camera is in between us, and you're on the left side of the triangle, and I'm
like a triangle choke.
Yeah. You want to change the channel to Triangle Choke? Triangle Choke Podcast.
Oof.
Anyways, so you'll be on the left, and I'll be on the right. And then the camera goes in the middle, and I think for now we can use one microphone so that it just goes right between us and it hears both of us.
But you're saying that you're gonna put it in the workout room, though?
No, I think the pool table might be a better backdrop too.
And just one mic?
Yeah, and then what I would do is I would turn off the lights, put on they're called soft lights. Like they look like the big stand with like the big square.
Yeah, the camera lights.
Yeah. So we'll put one or two of those around on our faces, and then in the background I would put LED strips that I have. I would turn that on and have like a little glow in the background. Do you get what I mean?
Sure.
So then like the people when they see it, they see like the pool table, right? They see that. They see us all lit up, and then in the background they see like a nice little glow in the background. So it's like
we'll see when it happens, because I don't get what you're saying right now, but
you're terrible. You're terrible at visualizing things.
It's either bad at visualizing.
Yeah, bro, you have no vision. But anyways, yeah, I have the idea. I'm trying to finalize everything today. The camera situation, I don't want to really buy a used one because then later on we don't have a receipt for it, right? And like, you never know. But at the same time,
so then like for the mic issue, then there's only one mic, so we're good then, right?
Yeah. For now we do the mic because it makes it easier for us as well, because I have a mixer and I have a microphone already and all that stuff.
It won't sit pretty close then.
I think if we turn up the microphone volume and I put like a setting on the microphone where it listens to everything, we can probably get it pretty good so that it's really good audio. It's not like
but then there's background noise too, right?
Joe Rogan. There's no background noise. What's background noise?
Yeah, that's a good point. There's no background noise.
if there is, it's pretty easy. You just you get a piece of the audio where there's nobody talking, and you make that a sound profile, and then you apply that, and it deletes everything that has a similar sound to that background noise.
That's all you.
Yeah, of course. All this stuff we can do on the same, like right after we record, we can do all that stuff and finish it. Yeah, because if we really want to, with like 2 or 3 computers, we can sit there and edit and do everything for the whole week. And then
I was gonna say, the extra computer that I used to use for my old videos, right?
Yeah.
Like before you gave me this one, I'm saying, why not just bring it there?
Yeah, I have 2 laptops that could also help. That's what I'm saying. And if you have your MacBook as well, so that's like 3 laptops. And then
so you're saying like just get it done there then?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying is once we finish it, we can just sit there and finish everything together, and then we're good for the rest of the week. And then we can either put on a Google Drive or upload it to YouTube, and then you can figure out the thumbnails and stuff later on.
And let's say we're talking about those live reaction ones. How is it gonna work if we're doing the podcast like the day after? Like, wouldn't it be easier just to do the podcast and the reaction in the same day?
Yeah, same day. I was saying Sunday would be like this mega dedicated time where we have like 6 hours or for like 5 hours where we do everything, and then we're good for the rest of the week.
No, but I'm talking about Fight Companions.
Yeah, we can figure that Fight Companions, it is what it is, right? It's on Saturdays. If you want to sleep over, then it's all of us. It's all you if you want. But I'm just saying, Saturdays would be Fight Companion, and then the next day. But that's only when there's like a big fight. And
man, that fight's coming up pretty soon, eh?
It's next month. So I think today will be a good day. I will figure everything out, and then we'll go from there.
Sounds good. Topic number 1: Nick Diaz looks ripped. on wait for UFC return and gossiping hoes can't handle it. MMA Mania. That's not from me, okay? That's from the site.
You have to say quote gossiping hoes. You can't just,
hoes.
Yeah. It sounds like you're calling them gossiping hoes.
The general as well. Some of y'all gossiping hoes out there need to quit that and chill. Athletic recovery coach Jose Garcia wrote on social media via bjpen.com. Nick Diaz is locked out of his social network, not active in a social network due to that matter. Y'all lames need to stop praying for the Nick Diaz downfall. He has a couple of people on his people to kill list for his UFC return. Thank you for all your concerns for my brother. He's living a life better than most of us. We are currently working to get Nick Diaz online. #War Diaz. Diaz Army stay ready. When he calls it, it's war.
Damn, this is his number one fanboy. God damn it, Jose Garcia.
Jose Garcia, bro. This guy gossiping hoes.
Nick Diaz Garcia, man.
Jose Ryan Garcia.
He loves him. Is athletic recovery? What was athletic recovery coach?
Yeah.
I think I've seen him before. I'm not sure. But I get what he's talking about.
The gossiping hoes can't handle it.
Yeah, we made a couple videos, I think, on Nick Diaz, 1 or 2. We're talking about him coming back, and I don't wanna say who said this, but maybe you said that he should retire, and he's not up for it.
I think he should, man. Listen. I'm not going back on my word, okay? He's been through too many wars. He comes back, what's gonna happen? He's gonna lose. Like, come on, who's he gonna fight? Jorge? He's not beating Jorge. Like, we saw Nate Diaz versus Jorge. And then what happened then? You know, big L for Nate Diaz.
Yeah, but they're two different fighters. Nick Diaz is much bigger and taller, and I don't know if he's taller, actually.
Nate Diaz is, like, younger too, no?
Nate Diaz is younger, yeah. But
yeah, so, like, if the younger version can't beat him, then what's the older version gonna do?
No, but they're two different fighters. I get it.
And they're the same
brothers.
style, man.
Yeah.
They're the same style. They're just pressure fighters.
Yeah. I guess you can summarize them both as the same, but they just have different tendencies and different skill sets, like levels.
If you think about it, he's calling us gossiping hoes.
Me?
Right?
No.
Well, like both of us.
No, you. What
do you mean me? What do you mean,
bro?
me?
You're a gossiping ho.
Gossiping hoes. Man, well, I don't know, man. I think we heard what happened last time. We had a topic, I think, a few weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Where it was about Uncle Dana. You know, he said that I don't think he should come back.
Uncle Dana says that about everybody, man. Leave Uncle Dana alone. Uncle Dana
is... we got some hate in that video too, huh? Nice dislike ratio. At least 10 dislikes.
For what?
For that video. For that video where it said that he shouldn't come back and the uncle said he wouldn't come back.
No, Nick Diaz is a grown man. If he's able to fight and he's able to pass the physical tests and stuff like that, he's by all means come back. He hasn't fought since Anderson Silva, I think it was, but he got suspended for marijuana and all. It was a long story, very long time ago. Marijuana. So he says he's a people to kill list. That's dangerous, bro. He knows he has people to come after, and there's 2 people that are probably on that. Number 1,
Street Jesus.
Number 1 is Jorge Masvidal. Number 2, maybe Carlos Condit, because Carlos Condit was the person that beat him in that interim welterweight fight where he thinks that he won, and a lot of people did think he won. I think I had Nick Diaz winning that fight too. But he also has other people. Maybe Conor McGregor. Why not? Let's go. Big brother, little brother feud. Who else?
What is it, bro? It's a Kane the Undertaker, bro. Like, are you beat Kane and his older brother coming? Like, what's going on?
Why not? That's the same thing about the Jorge matchup.
If the Jorge fight happens, man, my video that I made on the other channel, I can't wait, bro.
Oh,
I can't wait. Give me those views.
My brother's keeper.
That's a sick video. I can't wait for that. First promo, actually, too. So.
Yeah. I remember I gave you the title and you made it something. You made some like weird ass title.
Cringy name.
And I was like, what the hell is this? I was like, I gave you this.
Brother's Revenge?
Yeah, something like that. And I told you my brother's keeper or something. I gave you a sick name. But Nick Diaz, well, we'll stay tuned. He's been rumored to come back and like not coming back for so long, ever since the Anderson Silva fight. because he got suspended for a year or 2 or 3, I forget what it was, and then got appealed, and then it got shortened. But then when he had his time served, he still didn't have his fight. So
here's a question for you: if he came back, would you throw him to the wolves, or would you give him like a quick tune-up fight?
I'll give him whatever he wants. Whatever you want, go enjoy. If he wants Dustin Poirier, go ahead, no problem. We'll do.
That's death, bro.
We'll do Dustin Poirier. If you want to do Jorge Masvidal, go ahead. Let's do it. If you want to, whatever you want, no problem. I'll enjoy that. Yeah, you could have on the same card. Imagine on the same card. Just take a second. Hold on. Take a deep breath. Breathe.
Take a breath. Take a breath, kid. Take a breath.
Jorge Masvidal versus Nick Diaz, and then the main event, co-main event as well.
Don't say it, bro.
Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz. Oh my god.
That would do numbers, eh?
Imagine. But then, if Nick is fighting before Conor and Nate, he might like come and like jump in the cage if Nate loses. And then the whole you never know.
Well, I mean, I think what's happening next is going to be Conor and Nate Diaz, right? I mean, wait, no, sorry, Conor and Poirier 3, based on his tweets. But if the Nate Diaz fight happens, why
Dustin
not?
has played around with the idea of having a rematch.
Next,
he said, I think he said there's definitely going to be a rematch,
because
but
he's taking too many L's.
when? Because if you have Dustin versus Conor, do you put the belt up online?
Like, we've been talking about this like for a while now.
Do you put the belt up online? Because if you do the belt, like who?
Where'd you go? Yo. Call failed. The call failed. What is going on? I can't hear him. He can't hear me. We call us kind of WhatsApp. Yo, Hamid, if you're hearing this, don't cut this out. Alright? It's quality content. The hell is wrong with you?
Bro, well, you just hung up the call. Keep it.
Oh,
Don't stop the recording. Don't stop the recording.
That was quality content. Do not cut that part out.
Don't stop the recording, right? You didn't stop it?
I'm not.
Okay.
We're still going. But as I was saying, I don't really care about this because we've been talking about this for almost a year now.
What?
This guy wants to come back, you know?
You don't care?
Diaz. I don't
Because
care anymore, man.
You
Listen,
come from an age. 2019. You come from an age of people that don't really know Nick Diaz. Like you don't know the legend of Nick Diaz. You'll see him here and there. You probably saw the Anderson Silva fight. That's a big if. Maybe. I don't even know if you saw the Anderson Silva fight.
Of course not.
So you don't really know. All you know about Nick Diaz is that he's Nate's older brother. So like you don't know Nick Diaz, and I think you should just enjoy the show if he comes back. I'm
saying, listen, I have no hate for Nick Diaz, right? I'm just telling you that since 2019, this guy's been saying the same thing over and over again. I want to come. Listen, if he wants to come back. It'll be sick to watch, but he needs to start like actually come back, you know, and like.
Yeah. But he's not saying anything. It's
Jose
Garcia, man.
He has a thing, like a people to kill list. What the hell is that? Well, then just come back already. You know?
He's gonna come back. He's gonna kill every single one of them. Trust me.
Michael, make weight and go home Chandler. No ill will for Dustin Poirier, but he could end up just being a hot sauce salesman as UFC seeks new champion. That is from MMA Fighting.
Oh my god.
Here's a quote, okay? Here's a quote. So don't go off on me, okay? So it's not for me.
This is Michael Chandler speaking.
Yeah, I do think it's a little bit weird. Chandler told MMA Fighting when reacting to Poirier's comments. No matter what, who I was before UFC 257 is much different in the eyes of the fans, the media, and the rankings than who I am now after UFC 257. With a dominant performance that I put on against a guy that I finished in 2.5 minutes, that took him 25 minutes to win a decision against, but Dustin Poirier is a champion in his own right. I believe he should be one half of the lightweight title picture, and it just remains to be seen who it will be. Dana White came out right away and said, "Man, Chandler's performance, Poirier's performance, seems like it makes sense for those two guys to fight next for the title." Well, Chandler, we've been talking about it now. I think Chandler should fight for a title, but I don't think he should fight for it right now. He should fight either, I think, Oliveira or Gaethje next.
You're his number one fanboy, right?
Michael Makewig, go home Chandler. Yeah. Sick fighter.
So there's a lot of shade between these two guys, and like it seems like they have like a friendly relationship, but at the same time they don't like hide the fact that they don't like each other, or
hot sauce salesman.
He's probably just memeing around, right? He's just joking around, because he says other stuff too, right? Because he says
Yo, but quick side note, the hot sauce, man, we've got to get some of that.
Is it available online?
I think so. Yeah, it's like $12. Looks really good, bro.
With the $20 shipping to Canada,
fight, bro. Might have to get it for Izzy fight and just buy like 5 bottles.
5?
You know what I'm saying?
Are you tricking them, or are you putting them on your food?
On the wings, bro. On the wings of pizza, just put all of it on.
I don't know. I don't know if people want to see you eat. It's not a good sight. It's a disgusting sight, man. It's so. Oh my god. You like are slapping your lips. Your like food is all over your face. I don't know if I don't know if it's G-rated, man. It's disgusting. It's so nasty.
R-rated, bro.
I don't know if we can do it. Maybe you have to go off screen and then eat it and then come back.
The corner just eat.
But even then, we could probably hear you chewing, and oh my god. And then if the fight card is like 3 hours or 4 hours long, you eat in like 5 minutes. It's done. So what are you gonna do for the rest?
That's why you have to buy multiple pizzas and multiple hot sauce bottles. Right?
I don't know. But, it might be a good video though to be like review or whatever.
Food review.
And then like the loser has to chug the whole bottle or something.
Oh, you're crazy! A whole bottle of that? I heard it's really spicy too, right?
No way.
Really spicy. Okay. I heard it's really spicy.
I'm not good with spicy stuff.
I'm not doing that either, buddy. You've lost it.
Hey, if you lose the bet, we can bet on the fighters and who wins and who doesn't.
Okay, we'll do it.
Anyways, but back to Michael Chandler and Poirier. Yeah, so I think there's a little bit of shadiness going on for both of them. Like Michael Chandler has said this, but Dustin Poirier has also said stuff like, okay, I beat Dan Hooker as well. Why would he get a title shot? And then I guess Michael Chandler's response to that is, I beat the guy in 2 minutes. You beat the guy it took you 25 minutes to beat him.
25 minutes.
But it's not really the same. Like, okay, you knocked him out, but the objective of the fight, right, is not only just to the objective of the fight is to win. So sometimes it doesn't really matter that you knocked him out. Like how much does that exponentially push you to compared to Dustin Poirier?
Case in point, Khabib and Aliquenta.
I don't know about that, but
what do you mean you don't know about that?
What are you talking about?
It went all 25 minutes.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with my point. I'm saying does knocking out the same opponent compared to winning decision really push you so much that you skip a fight and go to the title shot next? I don't know. Because
it does.
Dustin Poirier is saying that it doesn't. He's saying that I beat Dan Hooker, and because you beat Dan Hooker as well does not mean that you get a title shot. I had to beat Dan Hooker, and then I had to beat Conor McGregor to be the person at the top, to be the one half of the next title fight for the lightweight title. So I don't know if Dana White is going to make this fight because there's more money to be made elsewhere. Dustin Poirier is down to fight Conor, is down to fight Nate. The only issue for those fights, yeah, he's down to fight Nate because they were scheduled to fight and then it fell through because of money or negotiations or something. So he's down to fight either of those guys. The problem that comes in for the UFC is the title. What do you do with the title? Do you use Khabib as an excuse again and say, listen, Khabib, hey, Khabib might be coming back.
Brother, please come back, brother.
But hey, Khabib just told me that he's waiting to see if he gets impressed this time again. He's giving them one last shot.
One last chance.
All right, so I don't know what they're gonna do with the title. They could do Conor versus Dustin for the title and spin it like, okay, yes, Dustin just beat him, but they're both 1-1, and this last fight should have been for a title, but because of the Khabib situation, we didn't know, and they could spin it that way.
There'll be so much hate in that fight, man. There'll be so much shade for that fight.
It is what it is. I think the UFC would still be able to sell it, and people won't like the idea. But at the same time, what do you do? Because do you do Michael Chandler versus Dustin Poirier for the title? I don't think Dustin is going to sign up for that. He would need a lot of incentive a lot
Is
of
he scared or
a lot of
because
green.
it's not worth it?
No, because I think he just has this mentality like, okay, this guy doesn't deserve it. I've done all these things. I've been in the UFC for so long, and I've been in the UFC for so long, and all I've gotten was one interim title fight and one title fight in that whole time. This guy came in, beat the same guy that I just beat, and instantly gets a title fight. Like how's that comparable? How's that fair? So
because he starched his opponent, that's why.
So he starched Eddie Alvarez. He starched Justin Gaethje. Did he get a title fight right away? Actually, maybe he did, but anyways, no. He beat Max Holloway and then he got an interim title fight. Yeah, he won the lightweight title, facing Max Holloway. So, I think he's in that mindset and he's not going to budge, because he also has the leverage too, because he can be like, no, I'm not going to fight Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler can go face Charles Oliveira. But now Charles Oliveira is also in the camp of thinking, I deserve the next title fight. I just won 8 fights, I think, now in a row. And I beat Tony Ferguson. I should be getting that title shot. But it looks like he might be regulated to face Michael Chandler. He might wait, but if he waits, he might lose his chance. So there's a lot that's going around there. I think Dustin Poirier is not going to budge from the Michael Chandler situation. The only way that he will is if they offer him a stupid amount of money and they say, listen, you're going to get championship pay-per-view money. Let's do it. But even then,
I have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
You think if it's Poirier and Chandler, you think like you could draw like good numbers or no? Would that be your main fight? Your main event, I mean?
It's a hardcore MMA fans. It appeals to them. I don't know if it goes to the public. They would have to spin and take every single. Sorry, they would have to take every single little interaction, every little clip, and spin it to that narrative where they don't like each other and stuff like that. Even then, it's kind of hard to tell nowadays for pay-per-view because of like the whole pandemic situation, but maybe 500,000 around there, that kind of range that he would draw. But it's not like
live crowds too.
Hey, whatever you want, 2,000, 3,000 people, just as long as everybody's safe. So I don't know how much it generates, but it's not the biggest fight out there. The biggest fight obviously is Conor versus Dustin for the trilogy, make it for the title, and then you can move on from there. But Michael Chandler's still out there. Justin Gaethje is still out there. Charles Oliveira is still out there. Tony Ferguson is out there. I think Tony Ferguson versus like Paul Felder would be fun. I don't want
Poor Tony Ferguson, man. Poor guy.
I don't want Tony
Paul
Ferguson.
Felder, come on.
Why? What's wrong with Paul Felder? He beat Charles Oliveira.
He's a main fighter. How are you gonna put him against Paul Felder? Listen, I have no shade for Paul Felder, but come on, Tony Ferguson is.
No, because Tony Ferguson just came off 2 losses. He needs to have a step back and okay, I don't want to disrespect Paul Felder, but he needs to get away from the top 5 for now, because he needs to regain himself and has time to recover and reevaluate some things in his fighting style or in his approach, his game plans, or maybe he doesn't have to change anything, and those 2 fights just are what they are, right? He lost because the other guys were better on that night. But Paul Felder is a good choice. Edson Barboza is a good choice. Edson Barboza is trying to get his last fight in the UFC so he can move on. But
PFL.
Yeah, I don't know if he's desperately wanting to get fights. So Tony Ferguson's out there. Maybe that's a choice, but. And the UFC doesn't lose out on anything, because if Edson Barboza loses, he's gonna leave anyway. So like, why not get some of his fan base and some of his prestige and some of his.
Khabib versus George St. Pierre is in the works from GiveMeSport.com. Yeah, looking like our 10th video on this topic. Okay.
Are you gonna wait? Hold on. Are you gonna use a new thumbnail, or are you gonna use the exact same one again?
You know, I think I'm gonna use the same pictures.
Okay, because
like a different. Yeah,
those ones clearly don't work. Okay, they do not work at all. So I would suggest make a brand new one, try something new, have fun with it, because I don't know how many people are very interested.
Hot take. Yeah. This video will get 10,000 views.
Okay, we'll see. Okay, go ahead. Read the title.
Okay. Speaking on the latest episode of the Anik and Florian podcast, Kenny Florian said, I heard some pretty crazy news over the weekend. I won't say exactly where it's from. Probably from Firas Zahabi, by the way. But it's from a well-known coach who apparently is aware of a fight between Khabib and a legend in the UFC, a former two-time champion GSP. I don't know if it's confirmed, but it is a fight that St. Pierre might be getting ready for and is preparing for. I don't think he would be getting ready for that or be telling people that he's getting ready for a big fight unless it was actually happening. And just to confirm this point too, I listen to the TriStar Gym podcast every single week.
Yeah.
And it looks like he is actually confirming it. Well, not confirming it, but he's hinting at it.
So,
Firas Zahabi.
So you're saying Kenny Florian is talking to Firas Zahabi, and Firas
100%.
Zahabi is confirming that GSP is preparing for a fight, not necessarily against Khabib, but who else really is there left? But preparing doesn't really necessarily mean that it's confirmed. And GSP has always been training and has always been doing stuff in the gym. What's interesting is Kenny Florian said he heard some news from the coach directly. Yeah.
He said that he heard pretty crazy news. I won't say exactly where it's from.
Yeah,
but it's from a well-known coach.
Yeah. So Kenny Florian is. You're basically saying it's Firas Zahabi that told you that, or it's Javier Mendez.
Who else would it be?
Javier Mendez.
Yeah, but like he's closer to the GSP, right?
Actually, it might be somebody else at the TriStar gym too, because there's other well-known coaches for at that gym too. That like maybe Greg Jackson said something because he's
but Zahabi's pretty close with GSP.
Yeah. Because he said well-known. If he didn't say well-known, he would have kind of. He would have had a better time hiding his sources. But okay, let's assume Firas Zahabi is talking.
Stupid comment, by the way. Stupid comment by this guy.
Let's just say Firas Zahabi is talking to Kenny Florian. He says, "Oh yeah. So GSP is preparing. He's in the gym. He's back in the gym. He's getting ready for a fight." So if that fight is Khabib, then our predictions or my prediction. Remember what I told you. What was my prediction?
It's time for a closer look video.
We already did one, no? Oh, no.
Not for them, bro.
A closer look video for Khabib versus GSP is going to be so difficult to do.
So much content.
GSP is much older now than he was before, but you know what he's going to be able to do. And then at the same time, like how do you like evaluate or quantify how well Khabib and GSP?
It would be a movie, man. It would be a movie.
Yeah. How do you defend? How do you quantify like how well each one defends takedowns and does takedowns, like offensive takedowns? So it'll be interesting. But remember, I said he's coming back for something for $100 million or something competitive, and that one competitive fight that's left is GSP. The only thing
George St. Pierre.
The only thing that's left is these UFC brass, man. UFC is on a mission to not push any narratives of Khabib versus GSP. Uncle Dana said when he met with Khabib at Fight Island that the topic of GSP didn't even come up. That's not even on the table anymore. It's gone. But then you see an interview happening between the Schmo and Matt Serra and Dean Thomas.
The Schmo!
There was an interview, and then Khabib walks by, and Schmo gets up and instantly goes, "Yo, Khabib, good, very good performance on your last fight. GSP, is that fight happening?" And then Khabib goes, "GSP, answer, let's fight." He's telling Schmo that they're DMing each other on Instagram. They're talking. So Dana White is a very good man. He's done very good things, but credible sources, I don't. Sometimes it's very, very fishy out here. And maybe he's right. Maybe Khabib didn't even bring up that topic because he didn't want to bring up that topic.
Did you watch the video there or no?
Of what?
Where he's on the commentator booth with Khabib. And he's talking about Conor McGregor and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Did you watch that one?
Yeah. Where he says...
What a weasel this guy is, huh? What a weasel.
Who?
Mr. Dana White, bro.
Well, what did he say?
He's just so needy. He's like, yo, if you come back right now, it's going to do 10 times like the amount of views as...
No, I was referring to when Khabib is talking to Dean Thomas. And then he tells him, he's like, next time will be different. he was referring to the first fight where he got tired. He said that I was very, very emotional. He said that every time I was trying to strike, I was over emotional and I was getting tired. I don't think he said tired, but I think that's what the conversation was surrounding. That it would be different if a second fight were to happen. But the way that he phrased it, maybe it's just a language thing, a language barrier. He said it as if the next fight is already confirmed, right? He's like, next time I won't do this, or next time I won't be emotional. So
he's in good shape too, eh?
Khabib is always in shape because he helps out his gym, his teammates, and you can't really help them, or you're limited in helping them if you're not in shape or you're not participating. And he's a lifelong athlete, so he's constantly, you can't just stop a guy that's been doing it his whole life to expect him to just stop working out and stop conditioning and playing Dagestani basketball.
Dagestani basketball and soccer too.
Yo, we have to one day play Dagestani basketball. 100%. I don't care. I'm not dribbling one time.
Right?
What?
It's all wrestling.
That's okay. I don't mind.
That's all
I don't mind. We could play Dagestani basketball and we'll upload it and to whatever channel.
And put mats everywhere too, eh?
We'll
put mats on the ground.
No, I don't think you can have mats on the ground.
That's a really good video, eh?
Yeah, we can do that. We can play Dagestani basketball, and at the end of the video, we challenge Khabib. Khabib's camp.
Are you crazy?
Be like, hey,
he'll wrestle you down to the
say
ground.
Russia 300 million, Canada 35 million. But
brother, you know I deserve this. You know I deserve this.
Give me Mayweather. Woo!
That's a good video idea.
Yeah, it is. But back to Khabib versus GSP. There's always rumors, just like Nick Diaz coming back to the UFC. There's always rumors out there. Let's let this play out before we start making like in-depth analysis videos on GSP versus Khabib, because like right now let's just let it be. I think this fight can happen, and I think what we predicted was like August of this year, August, September.
The summer of Khabib again.
No, not summer. Summer is too soon. Because he's going to do...
August is summer, man. What do you mean? No, stop saying that. August is summer.
August is like the end of... That's like the worst time of summer. That's like when you're like all depressed because summer is ending. Because you're thinking of like, oh man, September again, the fall, blah, 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 blah. So...
Shit.
Anyways, we'll keep on top of this, and we'll give updates as they...
Gaethje and Khabib are in agreement about Tony Ferguson's future, from MMAnews.com. Okay, this is a long quote, okay? So bear with me.
Okay,
very long.
Do it.
Justin Gaethje and Khabib Nurmagomedov are in agreement. Tony Ferguson will not be relevant in the lightweight title picture moving forward. It was not long after Justin Gaethje dominated Tony Ferguson at UFC 249 when UFC lightweight champion Khabib Nurmagomedov gave a prediction for the remainder of Tony Ferguson's fighting career. And I understand Tony Ferguson's time is finished. Now he's going to come back and someone's going to beat him again, I believe. Because when you take damage like this, you're never going to be the same. Khabib's prediction came true, and that someone who beat him was Charles Oliveira at UFC 256. The man who delivered the damage to Ferguson that Khabib was referring to is former interim lightweight champion Justin Gaethje. Gaethje's words about Ferguson mirrored Khabib's almost verbatim following Ferguson's loss to Oliveira. I was impressed with Oliveira, but yeah, I don't want to take anything away from him, but Tony Ferguson was not the same person, Gaethje told ESPN in a recent interview. No one's going to be the same person after you get hit in the face that many times, ever. That's a funny quote coming from Justin Gaethje. No one's going to be the same.
The man that's absorbed so many shots. No, there's been a lot of fighters who've taken a lot of damage and still been able to make comebacks and stuff like that. You see a lot more at heavyweight as opposed to like the lighter weights. But Justin Gaethje is Tony Ferguson has like, he still has stuff in his tank. Like he's able to win these fights. He's not completely like
last fight. I don't know what the hell he was doing last fight.
He doesn't look like he's like an old. He doesn't look like he's like an old man out there, right? It was just the matchup wasn't in his favor. Like Charles Oliveira is a guy that with a very very high jiu-jitsu, very high jiu-jitsu and grappling game, and you had Tony Ferguson who just constantly tries to implement his game plan, which is like go forward at all times and try to overwhelm with volume. The thing is that Charles Oliveira does the same thing, and he's very, very lanky, and he's very, very good at the same type of things.
So Ferguson, basically.
Yeah, he's like a different version of Ferguson. He's a little bit more patient sometimes, but like that fight went to decision. He got caught in Ferguson got caught in an armbar that he should have tapped out to. He probably that's something I haven't looked up. How is his arm? Like,
it was injured actually. It was injured. So
yeah,
I think he got surgery for the arm.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I think so.
So, like Ferguson, I think he's had a very, very good career. I'm not going to tell him to retire or not retire and stuff like that. I think if you take him out of the top 5 for now and you give him some time to recover and to reevaluate some things in his game plan, he can come back and do very, very good things. Like, let's not forget, there's the Tony Ferguson that we all knew, the one that's so dominant and stuff like that.
He's gone.
Was only 2 fights previous to today. So that person, the El Kukui that we all knew, was right before Justin Gaethje, right? So that's the guy that we know and love. Then he goes and he loses to Charles. But realistically speaking, it's only 2 fights. Yes, he did leave a piece of himself in that cage after Justin Gaethje. Charles Oliveira didn't do that much damage to him, like in comparison to Justin Gaethje. But there's a big chance that Tony could come back in, go on like a 2-fight win streak, and fight for the title again. It just really depends on what he does outside of the cage, and it gives himself time to prepare and to relax and take his time and do what he wants to do outside the octagon, while balancing in his health and his MMA future. Like I know he's starting to do stuff with his community, and he's starting to do stuff with his own gym and stuff like that, but he's gone through a lot of change. I think it was the Charles Oliveira fight where he started talking about, I don't have head coaches anymore. I don't have coaches. I have trainers, which I get. Like, essentially every MMA fighter has trainers, but they have a head coach that plans everything. That doesn't necessarily mean that that's the reason why he lost to Charles Oliveira, and that's the reason why he lost to Justin Gaethje. It's just something maybe that he has to reevaluate. Maybe he needs somebody as a coach to tell him, like, okay, this is your game plan. You can't just go there on a straight line and just pressure fighters like that, because they're just going to be guys that are going to counter you like Justin Gaethje, or guys that are just going to outperform you like Charles Oliveira.
So here's a question for you. Do you think that the UFC finally has caught up to Tony Ferguson, like in a way that like he's been figured out?
In a sense, maybe yes, but at the same time, so something is very strange about the situation of Tony Ferguson. If you watch his previous fights to Justin Gaethje, they did go similar to how the Justin Gaethje and Charles Oliveira fights go. Very early on, he's exchanging with his opponents, and he gets dropped, or the opponent gets the better of him. But the difference between Charles Oliveira and Justin Gaethje fights compared to all the other ones is Tony Ferguson gets down, yes, but then he, as the fight goes on, he's able to outperform his opponent. He just keeps up that volume, keeps up the pace. So we've seen him, like when I was watching the Justin Gaethje fight and the Charles Oliveira fight, I was expecting, I was like, okay, he took that dip, but now he's gonna hit his peak. He's gonna hit his stride, and he's gonna be able to do what he did to like RDA. He's able to do what he did to Pettis, right? All these guys. So maybe he needs to reevaluate, or like take a look at why is he constantly in the beginning of the rounds of all these fights being down. Like, why is that something mental where he needs to be down in order to come back and win the fights? And is that his downfall, right? Is that his downfall, where because he's down so much, his body can't get him back up. His brain, his hands, his mental, everything can't get him back to that peak, which is what he's used to. Typically, he would go down those peaks and then he would make it back up, right? Like there's like fights like Lando Venata, for example, where Lando had him in a lot of trouble, and then you saw Tony Ferguson do those rolls, and then he eventually got himself together and beat Lando in that fight. I forget. I think it was by submission or Darce choke or something. So
probably Darce choke.
Yeah. So you see Tony Ferguson have these similar type of fights. It's just the ending is just different right now. But I don't know if he can change that. I don't know if he can change that decline that he has in the first or second round, or if he can just change like everything about his game so that he's able to take less damage but also do everything that he's good at. So he's very good at in the clinch with his elbows. He's very good at forward pressure. He's very good on the ground, defensively on his back and on top. So he still has these stuff in his game. He just maybe has to tweak some stuff based off of his opponent, because it seems as if he goes to every single fight with the same type of game plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just to finish off your point, I'm gonna say two things, okay? So the first thing is I think that either he should move up in weight, you know, because you see Ferguson, right? He's built pretty wide, right?
Yeah.
And I think personally he could probably go up like to
205?
No, not 205. It's at 165, right? I think we'll probably go to that. If not that, I think he has
there's no 165. There's no 165. There's only 170.
Or 160. No? Oh yeah, sorry. I thought there was a catchweight division, right?
You're thinking of other stuff.
Sorry, never mind. But if not that, I think he has one fight in him left. If he loses, I think it's time to hang up the gloves.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
He's made comments about how he is a big guy and he can make 170, or he should be at 170, but like he just makes 155.
Just make catchweight. And then
there's no catchweight. Dana White hates catchweight.
Yeah, but there's rumors about it.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, but there's rumors for it.
There's rumors for it. There's always rumors for it. But Dana White
has Diaz, remember?
Yeah. Dana White has said many times that like the 165 is not going to happen, because he's in the camp of saying, if 165 happens, you're just going to have all these guys that couldn't make it at 155 and couldn't make it at 170 to jump to 165. And then you deplete 170 and 155, and at the same time 165 is just like this free-for-all of guys going up and down without any consistency. We've seen that thing happen though, the inconsistency with top level fighters, where we see guys like Izzy now going up to 205. We see Conor going to 170 and then 155, 170, 155. We see GSP go from 170 to 185, right? We at the top of the heap, we see these guys jump up and down. Max Holloway went to 155 and went back to 145. So I get what he means. There's gonna be like this huge rush of these guys are maybe like Paul Felder. Why wouldn't he be like, okay, forget this, I'm gonna go try 165, maybe I can be a champion there, right? So Charles Oliveira would be like, yo, forget this, I'm gonna make 165. He missed weight. He has trouble with making weight in the past at like 145. I think he's been perfect at 155. I'm not sure, but he's had a history of not making weight. So but back to the point, Tony Ferguson, let him come back, take his time, do what he wants. Don't force him to fight like a guy in top 5 and then use his name as like a way to catapult them to title fight. Just to have a fun fight at 155, see what happens, and then we can go from there.
Oliveira jabs at Poirier. If you don't want to fight me, I'll fight someone else for the belt, from Bloody Elbow. Sure. And his quote is, so you don't want to face me for the 155 gold? What's next then? Who do I need to beat to have this lightweight title around my waist? #UFC. Oliveira wrote in response to Poirier. And this was actually in response to a tweet from Poirier, when Poirier said that he wanted the trilogy fight against Conor. So, yeah. Well, I know we talked about this last week. I mean, not really, but like it was in one of the topics.
Yeah.
Oliveira. I mean, who else like should he really fight? Right? He fought Gaethje. Wait, no. He fought Ferguson. Sorry.
Yeah.
Who would be next?
So let's look at the winners of 155, like the people that are coming off wins, or just look at winners for a second.
Sure.
So the people that have won at 155 as of recent is Charles Oliveira, Dustin Poirier, and Michael Chandler. The closest person to that group of people would be also Justin Gaethje. So you have an opportunity to have Charles versus Justin Gaethje, Charles versus Poirier, or Charles versus Michael Chandler. The one thing that comes into play is what happens with the title, and does Dustin have to be in that title fight? If Dustin has to be in that title fight and Dustin is entertaining the idea of Conor McGregor, I think guys like Charles Oliveira, Michael Chandler, and Justin Gaethje might be upset that Conor gets that title fight instead of one of them, which I get it's warranted, but the UFC has the opportunity to play the trilogy card of like, okay, this is a trilogy. This should have been the first fight should have been a title fight, but we're gonna make this one. We're gonna see who's the king of the lightweight division. Conor's only lost to Dustin, which he beat last time, and he lost to Khabib, and everybody beats Khabib. Like Justin lost to Khabib, Dustin lost to Khabib. What do you want the UFC to do, really? They could the UFC can go out and make a Dustin Poirier versus Charles Oliveira fight for the title, which would be interesting. But I don't know if they do that though, because like Charles Oliveira is on a very good hot streak, but he's only beat Tony Ferguson out of the top 5, really. Like who else has he really faced or beat? I don't know if the UFC is very strong on Charles Oliveira getting the next title shot.
Well, let's combine the last topic with this one because it's the same thing basically. So I'll just say it. Joe Rogan believes Chandler would beat Conor and tells Poirier to fight Oliveira. And he said the purest option is Charles Oliveira. Rogan said about Poirier's next fight. If you're a purist, you want that fight. But if you want to make a lot of money before Conor fights someone else, you have the Poirier rematch. Here's the thing. If Conor fights Chandler next, which is a possibility, if Dustin fights Oliveira and Conor fights Chandler, what are the odds that Conor beats Chandler? I think Chandler is a favorite in that fight, which is very dangerous for your money.
Yeah.
Well,
See. The situation surrounding this is, do we make a Conor and Dustin trilogy right away? We made a trilogy right away. Sorry, we made a rematch for Conor before immediately, and that was against Nate Diaz, right? We did that. Do we make a instant rematch with Dustin and Conor, which is obviously for cash grab, right? It's a big fight.
Instant, though?
What?
Like a few months? Because like if it happens in the summer, that's a pretty big gap.
I mean, like both the fights is a rematch. So, what are the alternatives? So you can give a title fight to Michael Chandler, but Michael Chandler hasn't really beat anybody except for one guy, right? And Dan Hooker. Charles Oliveira probably has the best case. He's coming off a win. He's on a long win streak, and he beat Tony Ferguson. But then again, it's only one. It's only one person in the top 5, right? And Tony Ferguson is not in the top 5 anymore. Justin Gaethje just came off a loss for the title. Does he get an instant title shot? Like, you just lost, right? Why would you get another one? So it's very strange, the situation. I don't know how the UFC is going to do it, because every single person that you can make a case for having a title shot, you can make another case for why they shouldn't get a title shot. Like Joe Rogan is saying the purists want Charles Oliveira versus Dustin. I get what he means. Those guys are the guys that are coming off wins. Plus, they have the most credentials in the UFC. So they've had the longest win streaks. Yeah, so they have the longest win streaks, and they are at the top of the division. Michael Chandler versus Conor, though, is a different story. I don't know if Michael Chandler versus Conor is a great matchup for Conor, just because of the wrestling avenue. Conor could go in there and starch him just by countering, because Michael Chandler thinks that he can strike with Conor, but there's also a chance that Michael Chandler just ends a Conor train and makes Conor have to reevaluate, or maybe Conor goes to 170. Who knows? I have no idea.
I mean, if he goes to 170, it would be against Diaz only, right? So, I mean, like, who else would he really fight at 170? So,
I think Diaz is done with 155 too. So yeah, so 170, Conor. I don't know, man.
It comes down to Chandler and Charles Oliveira. I mean, you know what a sick fight would be to actually see who would fight next. It would be Oliveira and Chandler. I think that would be a good fight. And then you have the Poirier and Conor trilogy.
But what do you do with the title, though? What do you do with the title? Do you make it Conor versus you make Conor versus Dustin for the title?
Nope, you hold on to it.
Because Dustin's saying that regardless of what happens, he needs to have a title fight next. Because he
wants it next.
He's the most deserving. Yeah, he's like, I need that title because in his eyes he believes that he should be the champion right now. Like, he's beat.
How do you convince the fans that Conor should fight for a title next? If the trilogy happens,
yeah. So I don't know where you've been this whole time. This is what I'm talking about.
I know. I'm just saying.
yeah. So like, Dustin Poirier has the most claim to being a champion right now, right? He beat Conor. He beat Justin Gaethje. He beat who else did he beat? He beats a lot of people, right? So he has the most wins over other people at the lightweight position, right? The contenders especially. Yeah. So he needs to be in a title fight, but the issue is, if he does a Conor rematch, does that involve the title? Yes or no? And if it doesn't, then who gets the title fight? Is it Charles Oliveira?
Here's your answer. Okay, I'm gonna ask for you right now. Okay, you do Conor and probably, I think, Charles Oliveira, and then if Conor wins that, then you fight Poirier. But Conor has to be active, right?
But then who does Dustin face?
He has to wait till the summer.
What are you talking about? Why would he want to wait till summer?
Why not?
So you're gonna tell him, to sit down and no, but it's even past summer then, because then there has to be time in between Conor fighting Charles Oliveira to Dustin Poirier.
Let's say Conor fights in April or May. Okay. Right? And then Conor wins that. Conor fights Poirier in August or September.
I don't know, man. You're talking craziness now. So then what do you do with Michael Chandler?
Yeah, but like,
what do you do with Michael Chandler?
Michael Chandler, he has to come,
he makes weight.
Make weight and go home. And then go home.
So you're saying he'll be a fill-in for Dustin versus...
Or he fights Gaethje, maybe. He fights Gaethje. Honestly, man, the whole class is a big mess, right? Yeah. So you got to make up something. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. The UFC is I think that a title fight between Dustin and Conor is very, very appealing to them. I think it was maybe a mistake that they didn't make that first fight for a title fight, because it would have made everything much easier. But they just hung on to the Khabib narrative and chance of that, which they shouldn't have done. They should have just let it go and awarded Dustin Poirier the belt, and then you would have had a situation where Dustin could have faced whoever. But at least he's a champion. So